All right, we're going to get started. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to our presentation of RPR Commercial and IMAP Commercial. My name is Robert Rodriguez. I am one of your Miami trainers, and we're going to be covering two programs today. And before we get started, I want to let you know that we are recording our session, and when we're finished, we'll be sending over a link to the video to your office so they can share with everyone in the office. We are expecting more people to join us as the presentation goes forward. There are 51 people registered and we only have about 15 people online right now, but let's get started either way. I normally look at the chat when I'm presenting. However, it becomes a little difficult to, stop what I'm doing and then chat. So what you guys can do, if you have any questions, you can unmute yourselves and you can ask me questions. And like that, it's a little bit better than me having to stop and look at the chat every time. When we have trainings at the board, we normally have another trainer online with us moderating the chat and helping us with the chat, but we don't have that option today. So I'm by myself and we are going to get started. Before we begin, I want to let you guys know that we have a YouTube channel, the Miami Trainers. Perhaps you've heard of it. This is our YouTube channel where we have over 300 different videos in here, including the RPR commercial video and also the IMAP commercial video. So you can go to youtube.com/Miami Trainers or simply look up Miami Trainers inside of YouTube. If you're not subscribed, you can subscribe to our channel. You're going to receive notifications each and every time we load new videos into YouTube. And you can look for videos via the playlist. You can go to playlist and then you can look for the RPR commercial playlist, or you can look for the IMAP commercial playlist. Right here is commercial RPR. And we have 5 videos in here. You can look up videos by instructor. So right here is my folder, Robert, and I have 175 videos in here that you can watch. So very important that you guys visit our YouTube channel. It is on-demand learning. You can watch this at your own pace. You can rewind, you can pause, and we did it for you guys. All right. So let's go back to the Miami dashboard and let's talk about the RPR program first. RPR is located inside of your Miami dashboard. It's this red logo that you see here. And of course, that's Realtors Property Resource. Once you click there and you are already registered with RPR, you will land inside of the RPR page. Now, I am already inside of the commercial RPR. Most of you will land inside of the residential side, and I'm pretty sure that if you are also a residential realtor, you pretty much know how to use this program already. But if you don't, we do offer classes that teaches you all about RPR residential. To switch over to the commercial side, you're going to look next to your name on the upper right corner and you're going to select commercial. That's going to take you into the commercial side of RPR. RPR is a wonderful tool. The commercial side is really a wonderful tool as well. You're going to be able to research properties. You're going to be able to research neighborhoods, research spending habits and demographics like a true professional. So my intentions are to show you how to use this wonderful product. And also, you're going to be able to run investment analysis for any property inside of RPR. So let's get started by selecting search right here. Go to search and we're going to search for properties and listings here. All right. If you guys don't know, RPR is a nationwide program, so you're able to search and research any property in the US simply by going to search, and then you're going to switch this to all properties because you have a for sale and then also a for lease. You have market analysis and thematic maps. We are going to search for all properties. Even if you're not a commercial realtor, if you're a residential realtor interested in learning commercial, we have a name for that, and that's a resi-commercial realtor, where you're a residential/commercial realtor, and that's okay. This program is for both residential and commercial realtors. Okay, and what we're going to do is I'm going to start with a very simple property that we can research, and that's going to be our headquarters building that we have in Miami Springs, and that's 700 South Royal Poinciana Boulevard, and 33166, or you can enter Miami, Florida. Either way, you're going to be able to click on search, and you're going to be able to see the property now in front of you. The reason why I'm pulling up this building is because it is a very large commercial building, and it's an easy way for me to explain everything that you're going to see in front of you. Okay, so here we have 700 South Royal Poinciana Boulevard. This is the building where our headquarters is located in Miami Springs. Off to the left, you're going to see that the property is off the market, and the last sales date was in August of 2015. If the property were on the market, you would have a different label here, and it will tell you the list price, whether it's for sale or for lease. If the property had recently sold within the last 6 months, then you would see a green label that says recently sold and the price that it was sold for. You'll see here last sold price was $16,250,000 back in August of 2015. This is an office building. It is a 10-story office building, and the total square footage is 116,324 square feet. The lot size is 2.35 acres, and it was built in 1987. In the middle, you are going to see a collection of photos that was from the previous listing. So if the property is truly off the market and we have no history in the listing side, then you're not going to see photos. You're going to see either an overhead view, which is up here, or a street view. The overhead view, of course, is with Google Maps, and it's going to allow you to see the overhead view. And then you have the street view, which is, again, with Google Maps, and you're able to kind of drive around the property and see the property from the street. Okay. As you can see here, I'm actually driving to the front of the building, and I will show you the front of the building right now. There's the building right there. Okay, so you got the photo view, you have the street view, and then you have the overhead view. Off to the left, you are going to see in red a tool called Valuate, and this is the property analysis for investors. We're able to analyze the property as an investment if we know the financials. So we're going to need to know how much money the property generates in income and how much money are in expenses in order to generate an analysis for an investor. We are going to practice this with a lower scale property, not such a large property like this, a little later today. All right, we have property notes and upload photos. So if you have any photos you'd like to upload, you can always upload photos here. And if you want to document any notes on the property, you can always click on add note and you can document notes on the property. The owner of the property is O2R Properties LLC, and you have the mailing address. You guys know that you're going to have to go to, say, sunbiz.org if you wanted to know the owners of the property and their information. RPR does not tell you their contact information. Okay. Underneath, you do have tenant data, and we're going to go ahead and select show more. And this is a list of all the tenants in the building. They're going to tell you what who the tenant is, what's the suite number of the tenant. They're going to also tell you what type of business it is, and then usually they tell you when the business started. You're going to see somewhere in here the Miami Association of Realtors right here in Suite 400, and our information is listed, including our phone number. Okay, this is the tenant data. You can always print the entire tenant list down below where it says print list of tenants. And if you know that there is another tenant that is not on this list, you can always add another tenant by selecting add another tenant. Underneath this, you do have property facts, and this, of course, is coming from public records, and it's the information listed in the public records. Off to the right, you do have an opportunity to make your own changes. If you can confirm that the property is either larger or smaller, then you can make those changes. This is similar to RPR residential, where you can make adjustments to a subject property by conducting your own changes. And then, of course, you want to hit save at the bottom. If you do make changes to the public records, then where it says notes, you want to document the notes. It is important to know that you're actually not changing the public records. You're just changing what you see inside of your own RPR account. By you making changes, this does not affect the public records. Okay, it's only going to make changes inside of your own RPR account. You have information about the interior and the exterior. You have location information and then legal description, mortgage records. You'll see that they took out a loan of $5.3 million with City National Bank of Florida, and they took this loan out back in August of 2015. You can click on show more, and it shows you the document number and recording date and so on and so forth. And then the last thing you're going to see inside of RPR is going to be the tax information and deed records. The tax information in 2019, the tax amount was $307,000, and the deed record shows you the last sale, which was in 2015 for $16 million. If you want to print this page, you can always go to the upper right corner and select print, and this is going to print your summary page. This is what we're having. We're looking at summary page. Now, if you want to print a demographic report for this neighborhood, you're going to select create a report. Okay, you're going to select create a report, and there are 4 different reports that you can choose from. You have the commercial property report, which is an equivalent to that summary report that you just saw. Okay, then you have the commercial trade area report. You have the commercial trade area analysis, and then you have the commercial best businesses report. The best report to print for your customers is going to be the commercial trade area report. I'm going to select more details to show you. It is going to include the trade area summary. It's going to include a consumer segmentation, consumer segment details, population comparison, age comparison, and other demographic categories that you see here. It is a true complete report and an understanding of the neighborhood, and it helps your client who's looking to either lease or purchase this property understand its demographic. Okay, so let's go down to the bottom and let's go ahead and click on run report as a PDF, or you can always email this report by selecting email to and then typing the email address you wish to send it to. We're going to hit run report, and we're going to see our report briefly. RPR is going to notify me once the report is finished. Now, I mentioned that this report is the best report, and the reason is because it's giving you the most data. All right, this is a very simple report, the best businesses report, showing you what how many businesses we have in the area compared to businesses that we need in the area. Well, that report is actually inside of the commercial trade area report. And everything that you have inside of the commercial trade area analysis, the 3rd report, is also inside of the commercial trade area report. So ideally, you only want to select one report, and it's going to be the commercial trade area report. I want you guys to know, just like in the residential RPR, RPR holds on to your report for a total of 30 days. So on the left, you're going to see kind of like a report queue, and the report that we're creating is still being generated. When the report does generate, RPR will save the report in the report queue for 30 days. So that means you have 30 days to download the report before you lose the report. So make sure that you do download the report to your computer so you can have access to this report. Okay. On the upper right corner, notice there's a notification saying that there is a report being generated. So we'll be patient and we'll wait for this report to be ready. And here it is. It is now ready. Let's click on download report and let's talk about 33166 in general. For those of you that don't know 33166, this is of course Miami Springs and parts of Medley. Now we do have a residential community right here, and then we have mostly industrial community off to the left. All right, so it is a very large industrial zip code with warehouses as well as a section for residential homes and condos off to the right or the east. Okay, this is the report. This is my picture. This is my branding. This is all part of your presentation. You're going to see that the median household income is $55,459. The median age is 39.8 years old. And then you have the total population being at 25,343. And then the number one dominant segment group is Metro Fusion. What RPR is going to do is that they're going to separate the population by groups or categories. These are called tapestries. And here you have your top 5 tapestries that represent this neighborhood. You have Metro Fusion, and that's 24.2% of the households. Next up, you have Pleasantville, and that's 24.0% of your households. So between the first two, you almost have half of your demographics are categorized in these two tapestries. Then you have International Marketplace coming in at 19.7%, City Lights at 11.7%, and the Golden Years rounding it off at 5.4%. You do have more information about the demographic, and you can read about this demographic down below. And then if you continue, you're going to get a detailed explanation what each tapestry means. So for example, Metro Fusion, right here it says who we are. It says Metro Fusion is a young, diverse market. Many residences do not speak English fluently and have moved into their homes recently. They're highly mobile. More than 3/4 of the households are occupied by renters. Right here in the center, you have information about the neighborhood, so you can read about the neighborhood. And then underneath, you have social economic traits. Tells you more about the economy inside of this tapestry. And then to the right, you do have market profile. It is going to give you a very comprehensive explanation of this neighborhood. In most cases, this is 100% accurate. I have done many studies in different neighborhoods that I am aware of in South Florida, and this information is to the T. It's very accurate. It says over 60% of the homes are multi-unit structures located in an urban periphery. Knowing Miami Springs, I know that there are a lot of apartment buildings, multi-family buildings, and they're telling you over 60% of the homes are multi-unit structures located in an urban periphery. 3/4 of the residences are renters, and rents are about 10% less than the US average. Well, that's also true. Rents are affordable in Miami Springs when it compares to other areas like Brickell or Miami Beach or even Aventura or Sunny Isles, right? So then you have information about Pleasantville, and then you have information about International Marketplace, and then the last two, you have City Lights, and then you have Golden Years. It says Golden Years is an older market, has a median age of 51 years. Single person households, over 40% are married couples with family or married couple families with no children. 1/3 dominate these neighborhoods. Average household size is about 2.05. It tells you that most of the homes were built after 1970. And approximately 43% of the households live in single family homes and 42% live in multi-unit dwellings. All right, so now that we have an understanding of the neighborhood, now we see the data. And you'll notice that the population in zip code 33166 is 25,343. It is expected to grow to 27,169 by the year 2024. And then you have Miami-Dade County's population and the state of Florida's population. The population density here is very low. It's 2,378 people per square mile. However, when you look at the daytime population of 78,015, that is a huge jump from the regular population. That tells you there are more people per square mile in the daytime than there is in the evening. So the daytime population actually grows to 7,323. And then of course, that's because of all the industrial businesses in the zip code, where lots of people go and work. And it's telling you that it is heavily populated during the day. You have more information like average household size, population living in family households, female male ratios. You have age comparison, population by age group. You also have right here marital status comparisons, economic comparisons, income per capita, average household income, median household income. So the average household income is actually higher, coming in at 76,178, and the median income is at 55,459. You have unemployment rate, and you have all these others that you see here. This is like I said, a full demographic study. You're going to see things like home valuations and the percent in home valuation, the percent in change over the last year. And then you have median list prices as well. And then you have the best businesses is going to be too many of these businesses and not enough of these two businesses that you see up here. Okay. And you even have traffic counts letting you know, how much time you will spend in traffic in this neighborhood. All of this is your trade area analysis. It's a wonderful report that you can provide your clients, and you can do this anytime you look for a property inside of RPR. Okay, let's close that report out and let's click on home. And I want you guys to know that you didn't lose the report. It's going to be over here where it says reports. You can always see the report now off to the left-hand side. You can click on the little plus sign on that report and you can run the report again, or you can download this same report. You can share on Facebook, or you can delete the report. 1 second, please. All right, let's go ahead and close that out. Let's click on home. Now, the next part of RPR Commercial is really one of my favorites. This allows you to perform an in-depth analysis of any neighborhood. So let's go ahead and click on Go to Analysis, and we're going to study a city, state, or zip code. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and plug in zip code 33160. Okay, let's go with 33160. And then that is a zip code in North Miami Beach, Sunny Isles, Aventura area. All right, and then we're going to be studying this zip code in today's class. Taking a look here, you can find people using spending and demographic data. And then we're going to open up our attributes and you can study who they are, what they do, where they live, what they buy, how they behave, facts and stats. So let's begin with who they are. And then in who they are, you have household sizes, income, net worth. In the personal finance category, you have financial assets, income, real estate debt, vehicle debt, and other debt. You can study marital status, education, race, age, gender, and consumer segmentation. All right, let's go with income. And then you have median household income, average household income, income per capita, median, average, high or low disposable incomes, households below poverty level. All right, let's go with average household income. You can even go by age group if you'd like, or simply go ahead and go to the bottom and you wanna go ahead and click on OK, okay? I'm not gonna go by age group. We're just gonna study the entire zip code. Run analysis. All right, so here we have a map showing some purple shadings, and that purple shadings represent the best household or the highest household incomes in the area. All right, so taking a look over here, You have $250,000, 232. You have $253,000. So let's go ahead and mark this one. This is the highest household income in this zip code, happens to be right here, okay, in this shaded box. Why is this important to a commercial realtor or even a residential realtor? Well, we want to start prospecting. If we have clients that are looking to promote their business to high income areas, then now you know where the highest household income is in 33160, and now you can do your farming and prospecting to those residences. Okay, we're going to go down and we're going to select now $250,000, and that's going to be the neighbor. Okay, that's going to be the neighbor, I believe. Let me zoom out a little bit here on this map. I don't know if I'm missing something. No, it's not the neighbor. It's this little area right here. This little area comes in at 250,000, and then $232,000 a year. It's going to be this area to the north. All right, and then do we have another one in the $250,000 range? No, that's pretty much everything over $200,000 is going to be this area, and then this exclusive area right here. Okay. Now, again, what you're going to do is that you can run an analysis on this area, get a trade area report for this particular area only, or you can search for listings that are active in this area by clicking on search listings. All right. Now, if you want to go back, you're going to click on market analysis. All right. And you can go back. You can add more criteria by clicking on add more criteria. This allows you to add and combine multiple criterias in one search. So if we leave the household income and then we open up again, select an attribute, and we say what they buy, okay? And you have total expenditures, retail goods, you have alcoholic beverages, you have apparel, you have dining out, education, entertainment, recreation, financial services, food, healthcare, household goods, household services, housing, phone, miscellaneous expenses, personal care, transportation, and travel. So if we go to apparel, and let's say that we're interested in selling shoes, okay? We're gonna select shoes, and then we're gonna go ahead and click on run analysis. You're gonna see now your household income and how much they're spending in shoes on a yearly basis. So for example, the folks that are in the $253,000 household income, they're spending $1,270 on average per year in shoes. All right. And once again, select it, and you're going to see that it is this area right here. And they're spending they're spending $1,270 a year in shoes on average. Okay. That's more than $100 a month in shoes. Now, where does this information come from? You can always click here where it says shoes, and then you're going to see that this information comes from Esri Consumer Expenditure Data in 2019. Okay, and this is updated frequently. It says spending on annual households on footwear. Calculations are based on consumer expenditure surveys from the Bureau of Labor Statistics. I want you guys to know that every time you go and you purchase something with your credit card at the store, it is recorded. You know, everything that you do with your credit cards, debit cards, when you go to restaurants, when you go to a store and you purchase with your credit cards, that information is being tracked. And companies like RPR will put together this information in reports like this. All right, and the main source is Esri Consumer Expenditure Data. Esri is a research company that builds these reports for you. Okay. Let's go back by clicking on market analysis, and now that was for shoes, right? So how about dining out? Let's see who dines out. You have dining out, all dining out at restaurants, lunch, dinner, snacks, or breakfast. So let's just go with all dining out at all dining out in general. Okay. And then let's run analysis and let's see who's spending the most amount of money dining out. Here we have $10,150 a year in dining out. And once again, all right, not a coincidence. It is the section that has the highest amounts of income, and they're spending $10,150 a year dining out. And once again, this information is being tracked by their expenditure, their data. All right. Now, if you go and you eat out cash and you pay cash, then of course that information is not being tracked. All right. This information is being tracked by the usage of your credit cards. Okay. Let's go back to market analysis and let's switch this here where it says what they buy, and let's go to how they behave. In how they behave, okay, and let's remove household income, okay? Let's remove this here. Let's click on trash, hit okay, and let's go now to how they behave, and you have where they purchase clothing, where they purchase their shoes, ordered from websites, amount spent on internet orders, shopped at brick and mortar stores, household grocery store spending per week, household spending for home remodeling, and time spent exercising. So this is a good one if you're looking to open maybe a vitamin shop or some type of facility for exercising or fitness, or maybe you're looking to open a healthy food shop. Then we're going to go after people who exercise more than 6 hours per week. We're going to click on OK and then run analysis. And then you're going to see here on the map those who exercise, and this is the number of people in this demographic that do exercise more than 6 hours per week. So by selecting this one, you're gonna see that it's this area right here, and those people go to the gym, all right, 6+ hours per week, and that's the way it's counted by your gym membership and how often these people actually check in at the gym. Now, if you work out at home or if you go for runs or walks, that's not counting. We're not counting that. We're counting actual gym memberships and people that actually use the gym. So once again, this is a very good area for you to be prospecting your future business in, on Biscayne Boulevard that's going to sell vitamins, or that's going to sell healthy eating, or that is a spa, or maybe a gym. Okay. You want to go after these people. So as you can see, folks, by using the market analysis or by using this data here, you can really focus on any neighborhood in the US simply by putting a starting point here, a zip code or a city, and then use your demographics. You have who they are, okay? You have what they do. So industry of employment, you can look for doctors, or you can look for people that working in finance, or you can look for people that work in education. All right, so you can go after those groups of people. Then you have where they live, what they buy. We just went through what they buy, how they behave, and then if you want to know more about the demographic, then you can go with facts and stats. Okay. Now let me go ahead and click on home. Okay, and I'm going to jump into IMAP before I jump back into RPR. Okay. And the reason why is I want to show you how to use IMAP real quickly for commercial. It's really the same as residential, okay? You do have all 67 counties in Florida inside of IMAP. And those of you that don't know how to access IMAP, you have IMAP inside of your Matrix MLS, or simply go to your Miami dashboard and look for the IMAP program, okay? So like I mentioned, you do have tax search, MLS search, and foreclosure search. All 67 counties in Florida are accounted for. You can search for any property in Florida inside of IMAP. Okay, so where it says property address, I'm going to enter a commercial building that is in Coral Gables, which is our office in Coral Gables. Okay, it's 245 Alcazar Avenue. We're going to go ahead and click on Start Search. And then it kicked me out for whatever reason. Let's go ahead and enter this again. Let's put in Miami-Dade County. And then let's put in 245 Alcazar Avenue. And then let's click on Start Search. You're going to notice that the Miami Association of Realtors are the owners of this building. This is our office in Coral Gables for those of you that have never been to this area. All right, it is an office building. The lot size is 5,000 square feet, so it's a small lot size. Actually, it's zero lot line because if you look at the square footage of the building, which is 4,889 square feet, that pretty much tells the story. It is a zero lot line. All right. The purchase of the property was done. You're not even going to see the purchase of the property because it was purchased so long ago that you're not going to see it. All right. Now, if you wanted to run a comp analysis on this property, then we're going to go ahead and click on find comparables that is off to the right hand side. And now I have IMAP set up to run comps for residential homes, you know, where the lot size is a difference of 20% and the living area is also a difference of 20%. And I also have located within half a mile during the last 6 months. Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to open up located within half a mile, and then I'm going to set this to same zip code. Okay, and then we're going to open up 6 months, and I'm going to go back 2 years. Okay, the reason why I'm going to go back 2 years is because I want to see comparables. All right, and chances are that maybe within 1 year we don't have any comps. Okay, so within 2 years, in the same zip code, we do have another office building that's sold, and that's going to be further down south here in Coral Gables. And you're going to see that the property is also a 4,500 square foot interior square foot, and then also a 5,000 square foot lot. So it's kind of similar to the office that we're studying. And that property sold for $2,600,000 back in December of 2018. That's $572 a square foot. Now, when you grab the $572 a square foot and you actually multiply it times the larger subject property, you're going to get a larger price. So concentrate on this bold number you see here. $2,799,000 is the actual reading for this property in the last 2 years. We only have one comparable. Now, would it be fair to maybe ignore the lot size? All right, we can try that. Let's go ahead and ignore the lot size and see what happens. All right, there only is one comparable. And if we ignore the living area and click on update, do we have any more office buildings in the area that's sold in the last 2 years? And the answer is we have 2 more, right? We have 2 more, and you're going to see that your low is about $2.3 million. Your high is about $2.8 million, and your average is 2.6. Okay, so it's not that far off from where we started at almost $2.8 million. Obviously, by removing the square footage, it did drop a little bit, and that's because we do have a larger lot size with a larger living area size that sold for less dollars per square foot. It sold for $488 a square foot. So that right there is dropping my my price. If I remove this one because it's too big, right? If I remove it, then now my minimum goes up, my average goes up. Then looking at this one, which is a lot size of 15,255 with a smaller, much smaller living area, that's at 530 a square foot. If we remove that one, and we're now back to the identical office building that sold in the last 2 years, giving you a price of almost $2,800,000. So in my opinion, that's my comp analysis for, or that's my analysis for this property. Keep in mind that it's nearly 2 years past since this sale. So property values probably have gone up, okay? Let me go back to new search and IMAP, folks. You want to concentrate a lot in what the property use. And you do have single family home, mobile home, multifamily, 10 units or more, condominium. You have multifamily 1 to 10 units. You have a vacant commercial land. You got store, 1-story, mixed use, store, office space. You have department stores, supermarket, regional shopping centers. So you have office building, 1-story. So for example, our office building in Coral Gables is a 1-story office building, right? So if I select office building 1-story and then I say, show me all office buildings that have sold in the last year in zip code 33134, okay? So let's put in zip code 33134 and then sale date. Let's go back to November 17, 2019. All right. So going back 1 year, let's click on start search and you're going to see that one office building, okay? One office building sold in the last year. And this is a 5,000 square foot lot. All right. 5,000 square foot lot, but with a much smaller square footage of 1,469 square feet. Okay. And this again is an office building. It says office building 1-story. Okay. If I go back now, let's click on the back button. All right. And let's say I want to go back 2 years. Okay. Let's go back to 2018 and then click on start search. And you're going to see that we have 6 results now. Okay. This is another way that you can look for comparables. If you cannot find comparables on IMAP by selecting find comps, then at least select the property type that is similar to the subject property and try and go and find comps for your listing, all right, or for your subject property. All right, so here we have 6 units that sold. You have 1.4 million, almost $3 million. You have $4 million, 2.6 million. You have 0 and 0. So these two are probably not sales. These are like transfers of titles. All right, so the reality is that you have 4 sales, okay, in the area. And I did this by selecting the property use and looking for office building 1-story. Now, if you are a commercial realtor looking to prospect, say, multifamily 10 units or more, then we can select multifamily 10 units or more. And then for zip code, let's put in 33135, which is a zip code in Little Havana. And then you click on start search and we have 204 buildings in zip code 33135 that are 10 units or more. Okay, so this is great because you can always download the results or create mailing labels for your prospecting. These are not active listings. These are the entire zip code and how many buildings are of 10 units or more in the zip code. You can go back to refine search. And if you wanted to do, say, gas stations, all right, look for service stations. And it's going to be right here, service station number 26. And how many service stations or gas stations in 33135? We have 15. All right, we have 15. If you go back to refine search and I remove the zip code in all of Miami-Dade County, all right, we're going to go ahead and put a list together of all the gas stations in Miami-Dade County. That's 738 service stations in Miami-Dade County. Once again, you want to create mailing labels or you want to download the results on a spreadsheet in order for you to start farming and prospecting each gas station in Miami-Dade County. Okay, so you can use IMAP for your prospecting and of course for comparables of commercial properties. You can also use some of these other filters like opportunity zone. So you have opportunity zone filter right here. All right. Why can't I find it? Hold on. Oh, there it is. So if you wanted to look for properties in an opportunity zone, you have opportunity zone, low income community. And, you know, for those of you looking to buy an investment property where you have incentives to save on your property taxes, then look through opportunity zones. You can also look for properties that are delinquent in taxes. So you open up a filter and you have taxes are delinquent, and then you hit yes, and then you know you want to look in a particular zip code for a particular property type, and you can look for properties that are delinquent in taxes. Okay, IMAP is a great tool. Those of you that are looking to learn more about IMAP, we have IMAP classes where we spend a whole hour talking about IMAP. Now, what I want to do is open a matrix because I'm going to go right into the investment analysis for inside of RPR. But for this, I want to be able to find a property that is for sale. Okay. So let me go and conduct a commercial search inside of Matrix. So here I'm conducting a commercial search. We're going to run a for sale transaction type and then look for apartment buildings, okay? We're gonna look for apartment buildings in Miami-Dade County, and then I'm going to hit results at the bottom. And let's look somewhere in the $2 million range, okay? Let's see what we find here. This is, how many units is this? It's a 13, this is a 13 unit apartment building located in the Upper East Side, okay? Now, it does not tell me what the income is. So chances are that I won't be able to do this. Let's see. Okay. I'm looking for attachments. I don't see attachments. So the idea is that we need to know what the income is, at least know what the income is on a property. They are telling you the property is being offered for 2.2, representing a 5.6% cap rate. Okay. Let me go to the next property. I would have to call the realtor in order to run that search. So I'm looking for something that is easier for me to run. And then this one does have attachments. So real quick, let me open up the attachments. And there is a brochure and a memorandum flyer. So this is actually what I'm looking for. Okay. So I'm going to open up the brochure real quick. And the brochure says that the gross income is $18,200. Okay, so keep that in mind. All right, I'm gonna close that out. And let's go back inside of, let's go now inside of Matrix. Okay. And let's click on RPR. RPR is this logo right here. That's gonna open up the property inside of RPR. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to start plugging in some of the numbers that we know from the property by looking at the brochure. And we're going to start figuring out what the potential return on your investment is going to be. So here's the property listed at $2.2 million. On the left, you're going to find property analysis for investors. In every property inside of RPR, residential or commercial, you are going to have access to this tool. All right, so let's click on property analysis for investors, click on continue. You can view the training if you like, all right, but if you want to go right into the program, you click on continue. So here we are inside the program, and we are going to, of course, do a long-term hold. We're not flipping the property. Okay, so we're going to do a long-term hold. We're going to click on other for property type, and we're going to put in multifamily. Okay. Now, how many units is this property? Once again, go in here, and you're going to see that this is a 16 unit building. Okay. It's a 16 unit building. So let's go back to the analysis, and let's put in here number of units is going to be 16. Click on enter. Okay, now the total gross potential rent is $18,200. Okay, now $18,200, but they want to know what the yearly rent is going to be. So we're going to multiply $18,200 times 12 months. Okay, so let's go ahead and put in 18,200 times 12. That's $218,400. And that's your gross potential yearly rent. Okay. Now it's time to calculate your operating expenses. So let's begin with the tax on the property. Okay. Let's begin with the tax on the property. Let's go back to matrix, and the tax amount for the property in 2019 was $16,000, right? So we can open up the property inside of RPR, right? Which here it is inside of RPR, and you're gonna go all the way down, and we're gonna confirm what the tax amount was. So the tax amount in 2019, it's actually 17,230. Okay, so that's our tax amount. I'm going to put it on a calculator, $17,230. Okay, now what is going to be the insurance on this property? This is a 16 unit building. I would need to contact an insurance brokerage and get an estimate. Okay. Now I can look at the attachment that was provided to me by the realtor. Okay. Let me go ahead and look at the attachment here and see what the insurance is. Insurance is about $7,000. Okay. Insurance is about $7,000. Now I know that you guys are seeing this, and you're seeing that taxes are $21,515. So we may have to adjust that. So taxes are going to be $21,515. If you believe in these numbers, that trash, water and sewer, FP&L, landscaping, insurance, property manager, all equals to $47,207, then let's just go ahead and plug in $47,207. Okay, I'm sure there's going to be more expenses, but let's go ahead and plug it in rather than start making numbers up, right? So let's go back over here and let's put in a cool $48,000 for expenses. Okay, now what they don't do is they pretty much didn't separate any money for reserves. Okay, and I like to do that right now, and also account for 1 month of loss of lease. So $218,000, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to separate about 21,800 for reserves, so about 10% of my gross income. All right, so 48,000 plus 21,000 is now 69,000 expenses. It is a smart thing to save money for reserves, right? So now we're accounting for reserves. And then if you're going to also account for loss of lease, then or vacancy rate, then you want to go ahead and maybe do, say, 5% of 218. No, yeah, 5% of 218 or of $218,000. All right. So let's go ahead, and that's $10,900. Okay, so we're gonna go with $10,900. That would be half a month. Okay, that would be half a month of your income, and we're going to add another 10,000 to 69,000, and let's just call it an even $80,000 for expenses. Okay, that's me doing additional numbers, not just what they told me, but also accounting for reserves and vacancy. Okay, you have your annual growth rate at 3%. That's fine. Let's plan to buy the house or the property in January of 2021. 2021 not even a number here? It isn't a number, not yet. Wow. All right, well then December of 2020. 10 years, we're planning on holding the property for 10 years. We're going to take out a 70% loan, all right, at a 5% interest rate, all right, 5% interest rate. And then let's click on submit. Remember, this is a commercial transaction, so interest rates are going to be higher, all right. Let's click on submit. And here's what we have for your client. We have an unlevered analysis with an average cash on cash return of 8.09%. And you have a levered analysis with an average cash on cash return of 14.05%. Your internal rate of return when you buy cash is set to 8.8%. Your internal rate of return when you finance is higher at 17.45%. So it is a great investment if the expenses are truly $80,000, and if the income on the property truly is $18,000 a month. This is pretty much a very good investment at $2.2 million. Okay, you can go through cash flow, purchase and sale. So in purchase and sale, this allows you to add in something we have not accounted for yet, which is the closing costs or any renovation budgets. So closing costs, let's go ahead and say 3% of $2.2 million, okay? I could be off, it could be more, but I'm gonna go ahead and say 3% of $2.2 million, so $66,000 for closing costs, okay? And that's going to bring down our number just a bit. So now we're looking at 12.89% average cash on cash return. And if you finance and if you paid cash, it's at 7.85%. Okay. Either way, however you slice it, this is a good investment. It's positive numbers. Your cap rate is pretty high. All right, let me show you here. Cap rate is at 6.59%. So it's a pretty high cap rate, just like they said in the remarks of the MLS listing. To play around with the sources of funds, so you can go ahead and click on sources of funds, and you can always, play around with the interest rate or the amount that you're going to give down versus the amount that you're going to finance. You can go to rent row and actually enter the rent for each unit in each building, or sorry, each unit in the building. You can always go to rent row, and cash flow allows you to see the cash breakdown on a yearly basis or on a monthly basis. So this is a powerful tool inside of RPR that you're able to run an analysis for an investment property for any property in the US. Okay. To share this tool or to share this report, you go to File and then go to Export PDF, or you want to export this into an Excel file. Okay, so File, Export PDF, or File, Export Excel, or if you wanted to run a new analysis, then you go to File, New File, and you're going to run a new analysis for this particular property by entering the income and expenses once again. All right. So this is actually going to conclude a 2-in-1 training here. We tried to cover a lot about RPR Commercial and some of IMAP Commercial. Normally what we do is that we have 1 hour for RPR Commercial and 1 hour for IMAP. So, I tried to combine as much as I could in this 1 hour presentation. I hope that everyone here enjoyed the presentation. I see that no one had any questions, so I feel confident that you guys understood what we just covered. And remember that we did record this and I will forward to your office so you guys have the recording for yourselves, okay? If anybody has any questions, you can always email me. My email address is robertr@miamire.com. Once again, my email address is robertr@miamire.com. And you can always email any questions that you have either with RPR, IMAP, or anything that we cover at the association. All right, folks. Well, I want to wish everyone a great rest of your day. Be safe, and we'll see you in our next trainings. Okay? Have a great day, everyone.